Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to install the GRP Halo kit. In the kit you'll see two Halo sets, one for the upper and the lower. Depending on which one you bought, you'll either have 2 or 4. And you'll have 2 packets of wire taps, industrial grade silicone, and 2 zip ties. And you can also print instructions on the website itself. So to get started, it would make it a lot easier if you take your wheel off. So jack up the car, support it under jack stands, take your wheel guard off, and then take the headlight assembly out. By the way, I just wanted to mention that you're doing this at your own risk. Don't blame me if you mess up your car. I'm just trying to assist you. So I'm not responsible if you mess up your car. Always take your car to a professional to complete all repairs. And so moving on, so once you've taken the wheel off, what I like to do is I like to look at your brakes and make sure that the pads are good, the rotor is wearing in properly, you don't have any leaks in your ball joints and stuff like that. That's just, that's a habit of mine, so it's a pretty good habit because it's better to find problems now than, being sideways down the road. So once you've given a quick look over at your brakes and suspension, take off your wheel liner, and under that you will see 3 spots. This spot right here, this spot right here, and the tab right here, which holds 3 5mm hex bolts. So you need to take those off in order to take the lens off, but do not take off these bolts. Those are for your projectors themselves. So once you've taken those off, your headlight should pop off like that. Okay, so before you put the halo rings inside the housing, what you want to do is quickly silicone the ring to the diffuser ring. That way it's in place, so when you put it into the housing, it doesn't come apart, and it'll make your job a lot easier. Okay, so once our halo lights have been dried, we can insert them into the housing. This is the method to use if you don't want to take the lens off. So what you want to do is insert the upper halo through the lower light, where your parking light is, and then fish the wire through, and then put your other hand from the bottom, lift it up, and then tape it into place. Then you can silicone around the edge. So this is what it looks like when it's all taped up. You want to make it sit flush. You can turn it around, and you want your cable to be off to a 3 o'clock position, so it's easier to wire into the parking light. So as you can see, I've siliconed the rings to the housing itself, and here's a closer look. So once it's all done, just let it sit for about 3 hours, and then you can install it on the car. So once the halos are completely dry, now it's safe to wire them together. The effect that I wanted was to have both the halos to turn on at the same time that I turn on the parking lights. And in order to do that, I used the supplied clips to connect the 2 blue wires together and the 2 white wires together. And it's always a good idea to check each step of the way to make sure that you do have continuity and proper voltage to the lights. So in order to test that, you want to hook it up to a good source of power. As you can see, both the halos, they turn on, so everything works. That tells me that both of these clips are making good contact, and it's safe to go to the next step. If for some reason the lights don't turn on, you don't know if it's one of these 2 clips or one of those 2 bottom clips going to the car, or voltage itself, or the ground itself. So it's always a good idea to check whenever you make a new connection. That way you can verify that it sends proper voltage to your lights. So once you finish testing your halos, you want to power them into the existing parking light wires. You see those 2 black wires just use those taps, the wire taps included in the kit, and test your halos with your switch. Once they turn on, just tidy up all the wires using zip ties. I opted for a different way because I have other wires in the way for my HIDs, and this is just easier for me. So tidy it up to your discretion and install the headlight back together. So once you've finished with the wiring, this is how it will all look like. As you can see, the headlights look brilliant. This is the stock side. So basically do the same thing to the other side. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. You can adjust the lights right there for you. So it looks pretty cool. So these are the GRP LED rings. And of course we have the GRP tail lights as well. So that concludes this video. Basically do the same thing to the other side and you will be all complete. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I helped you out.